It's Friday. It's the happy hour. Monk is remote from, let's call it, parts unknown.
Yes.
I'm your boy, Lou Kang, for this week, not Lou Betya. We got a pay-per-view coming up. We're all excited. If you guys want DFS advice, you want bets, you got Monk, who's like the pro, and you got me, who's like a total psychopath with props, but I do have a lot of props today. Just before I get to Monk, want to shout out to our sponsor for the show, Main Objective Fitness. Moving to the West Palm area very, very soon. Check them out on Instagram, Main Objective Fit, MINE Objective Fit. They will take care of you. You want to get in shape, you want to learn how to box, Main Objective Fit. My guys. Anyway, Monk, you're on vacation. I don't know how excited you could be, but I'm betting you're pretty excited because I have that influence up people, motherfucker.
That's true. You certainly do. Macho Man Lou Kang right above me. I absolutely love it. I get a break from my kids for like an hour and 15 minutes. This is fantastic. Heading back home tomorrow, hoping to catch most of the card. But man, I love carving out a little bit of time here for our 5:30 happy hour show. What is up, everybody? What's up, chat? Hit that like, subscribe to the MMA Engine channel, and let's
We're close
get it
to being
going.
monetized.
We're so close.
So before we
you want to be the
this,
1,000th subscriber, that's going to be you. Click that button.
Look, if you are a 1,000 subscriber, I will be nice to you for like 10 minutes.
On Twitter.
So let me shout out to the chat real quick, guys. Thank you so much for catching up with us in the happy hour. We got Brandon here. Brandon's my guy with Angry Ms. Girl as his icon. We got Chris Love MMA. Alonzo Menafield. Clearly the real Alonzo Menafield.
Thanks, Alonzo.
He's back after I called him starching this fool round one last week. We got Uncle Weezy. He's a guy, and he does content stuff, and he's the best. We got Daz. We got War Dog. Glenn Bott from across the pond. We got my man, Jermaine Clark. My man, Main Objective Fitness. Monk,
let's go.
You ready to break this shit down or what?
Absolutely. Let's get these people's Friday started off right. I know a lot of you out there drinking White Russians and shit. Give them a little stir, and let's get going.
All right, so Monk, you don't have your screen. We're using a little bit of best fight odds today. Guys, I'm so sorry that real life got in the way. I was really hoping to unleash the fight studio today. We tried. I just couldn't get there because people
it turned sentient. You had to like put it down.
Like no joke.
Hours ago.
People were legitimately annoying me all week where I could not get this one day of coding done. And we got Raw Torque in the chat. What's up, ladies? What's up to you, lady? Love my guy, Raw Torque. There's Wheezy.
There's a beverage here, man.
I bet Wheezy's drinking his favorite, the Paloma. He thinks it's refreshing. I think it doesn't matter what I think. Monk, let's go. Jocelyn Edwards, Ramona Pasqual. First fight of the night. Started off. What's your take, DK-wise? I don't have salaries up because DraftKings is not letting me on their site right now.
I got you. Yeah, man. We're DraftKings. Until you're rolling with the sponsorship, I mean, free Lou Betya, free Lou Kang. Hashtag that shit. 8,700 for Jocelyn Edwards. I'll keep this simple. Way too much to pay for Jocelyn Edwards. What are we doing? 2.26 a minute, 76 when she wins. I'll be all over the Ramona Pasqual side, especially in GPP game. She scored 3 points a minute against Nunes. Did pretty well. Looked pretty tough in that fight, although she did drop that loss. I believe it was a 3-round decision. She gave up a ton of points, but Nunes is no joke, it seems like. She might be actual legit. So we'll have to see.
Who's Nunes?
Who? Nunes? Isn't it Josiane Nunes? Isn't that who she fought?
Oh, Joe Benavidez, you mean?
Oh,
you mean have she fought Joe Benavidez?
I always get that mixed up, man. It's the ESEZ.
Be a pro, Monk.
She did.
Monk,
she looks great. You are. That needs to be said. You are a pro, and I have a lot to learn, clearly. But yeah, she looked not too bad against Joe Benavidez, honestly. I mean, the haircut on point as usual from Joe, as Wheezy says. But yeah, long story short, Jocelyn Edwards has no business being in your lineup at $8,700. How is she ever going to pay that off? She's going to have to get a finish against Pasqual, and I just don't think that's going to happen. So what's your angle here? Because I like Pasqual not only in DraftKings, but to possibly get an underdog win in this fight.
Do you like Pasqual in your heart?
I mean, a little bit.
Now, I understand that because I looked this fight early in the week and I'm like, well, how do I bet against her? Because, and I'm not going to say whatever I really want to say here, but like her hips are wonderful. Like she's a 5, like on the Agapova scale where Maria Agapova is a 10.
This is legit science too, by the way.
Yeah, she's like, and by the way, Maria Agapova, if you're listening, like come to Pennsylvania. Lou is here for you. I'm on the Edwards side, and it's funny, like the more tape I watched, like the more I liked Edwards because, like we talked about last week, I think it was the Benoit Saint-Denis fight. Like he had never been knocked out, but like Norm says, allegedly, but also really, he had been knocked
exactly.
out. Now any other ref would have stopped that fight, like with Pasqual. She got murdered. I mean, murdered. She had no defense. She had a couple of takedowns like late in the round, but like she was just getting murdered. She was getting blown up. I'm actually surprised they let her fight in the third round. Face was blown up. Now, I'm not big into the weigh-ins. Like I was already on the lean on Edwards, but like there's no size advantage. Edwards looked all right. I know she's moving up in weight, but her boxing is so good. She's going to pepper Pasqual all day, and she's not bad off her back. Yes, she gets taken down a lot. Now, like from a DK perspective, I get what you're saying. Edwards is finish dependent here, and I understand that. Well, I have plus 300. Edwards gets the job done. I don't know if she gets with like an arm bar from guard, although I do have an arm bar from guard possibly for one of these fights coming up soon. I think Edwards just gets the job done. Either she peppers her as this fight goes on. Edwards' cardio is like legit too, which I like. But I think Pasqual is just going to get pieced up. And even if it hits the ground, which if Pasqual's smart, she's going to take her down. Edwards is not like bad off her back. And I don't know that Pasqual, after that life-altering beating she had a couple of months ago, is like, all right. And before we move on, I want to address my boy, George Montero. Did I quit weed? I don't smoke weed, bro. Like I did 20 years ago. Like I have no problem with weed. I don't smoke it because I just don't like what it does to me. Like I'm a drinker. Like I hope everybody, I mean, it should be legal. Like, I don't know if that's controversial. Like it should be completely legal, but I'm not like, my man Monk knows, like, I'm not like, I'll smoke like once a year. And if I do, it's because I'm drunk and I do like the whole,
exactly.
And then it's like, it's like a horrible idea. But like, no, I'm just energetic, man. It's a pay-per-view, George. Like, I got tons of props for this, man. I'm energetic. Raw Torque saying MMA, Edwards is the side. I mean, it's like, I don't like Pasqual, like, just got wailed. So, like, I don't know, man. God, Jermaine saying weed's from the earth, bro. It is from the earth, bro. And Eric bets fights.
What's up, Eric?
So people just assume Eric smokes weed. Eric, in all fairness, you're my boy. I just assumed you were Kevin Owens, motherfucker. I just always assumed you were Kevin Owens. So I'm on the Edwards side. Money line's a parlay piece, but I like the in the distance at plus 300 here. I think it's pretty realistic for a fight that, like, let's be honest, Pasqual was finished last time. Just bad reffing. And I think that, like, we see this a lot of times when somebody takes a colossally life-changing beat in 15 minutes. It doesn't mean they can survive another 15 minutes just getting peppered. But, Monk, to your point, I get DFS-wise, Edwards is finish dependent. So I understand it, man.
100%.
All right, we're going to move on to, like, literally my favorite fight of the night, Liang Na against Silvana Gomez Juarez. I don't see Brady in the chat, but, like, we all simp, and this is Brady's simp, man.
It is. I mean, it is what it is.
This is Brady's simp. So I got one way to play this for me, but I have a pivot play if you want. So Liang Na, like, what have we seen from her? Round one sub, round one sub, round one sub. Or I couldn't get the sub and I have to be dragged to my corner like Carnelosi did. So here's the problem. What's Liang Na good at? Arm bar.
Arm bar, yes.
Like, by the way, if you guys have never seen Chris Jericho's like list of 1,004 holds, it's like the greatest thing ever he did years ago, where he just had like a printout in the ring of his holds, and every other hold number 344, arm bar. Monk, do you know who invented the arm bar?
I assume it wasn't Chris Jericho. Who you got?
Samuel Armbarski invented
Oh,
the
I
arm
did
bar.
know that actually.
It's
I did
weird.
Know that.
It's a weird thing that was his name, but Samuel Armbarski. Just so you guys in chat know, that is the original inventor of the armbar. Is Samuel Armbarski. I'm on round one sub plus 375. Juarez, 2 UFC fights. I had some. I won't bring up names. I know Brady doesn't like that, but like one of these guys that says DM for VIP packages this week just kept quoting like how Juarez lost to Loopy and said, well, this ain't Loopy. And I don't think he knows that Juarez had a fight between Loopy and now where Demopoulos subbed her in 2 minutes with an arm bar. I mean, this is not Liang's like winning condition in submission. So I like the round one sub at plus 375. However, if you like getting goofy with it, Juarez round 2 knockout is plus 900. And it's not a horrible way to play the fight because honestly, I don't see it playing both ways. I have fight doesn't start round 3 in like a lot of parlays. If it goes to the third round, I deserve to lose all the money. All my money, all my buddy Greg's money.
Exactly.
All my buddy time. I deserve to lose all the money. But there's 2 ways this fights go. It's Liang it's not Liang round 1, or it's Juarez round 2. Oi! DFS by the numbers. Our man Brady comes on during the Liang.
You say his name and he appears. Yeah, we talk about Liang and he appears like a
Monk,
good simp should.
Monk, what do you got for this clear should be the co-main event fight?
I mean, I definitely agree with you there. Look, honestly, no jokes aside, this is probably a must play for DraftKings 8,600, 7,600. I agree with your breakdown completely. Gomez Juarez has put herself in 2 arm bars, and that's exactly Na Liang's path to victory. So I love the round 1 play. If that happens, Na Liang is going to score fantastically and could be optimal at $7,600. But Gomez Juarez at 8,600, like you said, if she can get out of that first round, Na Liang is probably going to gas early. Gomez Juarez probably has a better gas tank and should finish in round 2. So you have to play a bit of both sides. That's kind of how I see this one. People's co-main event, I definitely agree. It's going to be one you're not going to miss. Unfortunately, well, actually, no, they pushed the card back half an hour. So I might actually be able to see this one as soon as I land back home.
7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Then that should be well within the time frame here. So I'm definitely not going to miss this one. But I will have a bit of both sides. I'll probably be heavier on Na Liang, quite honestly. But I'm definitely not going to be fading Gomez Juarez. This one's going to be exciting for as long as it lasts. So play both sides, honestly, a little bit at least.
All right. So we're up to the third fight of the night, the one I changed my name for tonight. Kyung-Ho Kang against, I hope Brady and Wheezy are listening, because Bert told me how to say this correctly.
Yes.
Batgerel Dana. Small favorite is Batgerel here, coming off a very bad knockout loss to Chris Gutierrez. A back elbow, or like as I like to call it, spinny shit, knocked him out. Kyung-Ho Kang coming off a loss to Rani Yahya, who looked pretty good for being 90 against Kyung-Ho Kang in his last fight. Monk, what do you got for this one? It's clear striker versus grappler, so I kind of think I know where you're going with this for DFS reasons.
Yeah, probably got to be a little bit heavier on Kyung-Ho Kang, maybe just slightly. Their salaries are pretty similar, though, within $400 of each other. Kang's offensive pace is fantastic, 3.73 a minute, and this is over 10 UFC fights. Scores 98 when he wins. Scores almost a point, just under 1.5 points per minute in takedowns and control time. I mean, I could go on about this, but his grappling edge is clearly evident. But you have to also roster some Dana. I don't even know if I should attempt it. Lou's pronunciation was spot on, so we'll just say Dana. You're relying on that first round, early second round KO finish for him to make the optimal. And at 8,300, I mean, I don't mind putting it on there. He's got 3 UFC wins. All 3 have come by way of knockout.
Brutal
TKO
knockout.
victory.
Brutal knockout.
Brutal, yeah, exactly. And he's also got a great offensive pace, 3.88 points a minute, 114 when he wins. You gotta play Dana as well. So honestly, a little bit of both sides wouldn't be bad. If you think this one's going to go the distance, you're on the Kang side. Maybe play him a bit more in cash as well. I'd definitely be looking at that side for a cash angle. But as far as GPPs, I don't know what the ownership's going to be on Dana. I assume it'll be about where it should, probably, you know, in the 20s, 20 to 30s, probably. A lot of people, you know, it's an obvious first round or bust kind of fight. So I'll be on both sides a little bit, but Kang is the more consistent fighter. Dana consistently knocks people out, but yeah, if this one goes the distance, I'll be wishing I had my money on Kang.
So I love Glenn. Like, Glenn knows me like so well. Is that sub an option?
That's what happens when you become a loyal listener, loyal watcher. You get to know us like we're right in the next room.
Is that sub an option? You goddamn right that sub's an option. And I already played it. That sub's plus 500. I love it. I love it. Like, here's my problem. So, like, you call yourself the Mongolian murderer, right? It's like insta-bet. Like, I just want to insta-bet that fight every time. The problem is with Batchery, like, I don't know if I can't trust him. And like the Gutierrez fight was is a really good example. Like, you know, like I see McKendra is talking about like that this is bad that he lost against Ronnie Yaya. But you have to understand like why he lost against Ronnie Yaya. Like the one thing that Kyung-Ho Kang does well is grapple, and like he wanted nothing to do with the grappling exchanges there. He just wanted to keep it on the feet. And Yaya is like, I mean, look, the guy has fought 7,000 times. His professional record is 3,800 and 3,199. The guy has a lot of professional fights. So, like, Kang's one thing he could do, like, he couldn't really do in that fight. But in this one, this is very clear. This is a very clear stylistic matchup. I don't love Kang's cardio, but I really don't like Batchery's cardio. Like, and if you watched him against Gutierrez, he was slowing down by the end of the first round. And by the second round, he became very predictable. He did the same 1-2 punch every time. Yep. And Gutierrez just timed it. So here's the thing. If Kang has any success grappling in the first round, Batchery's done. If he doesn't have grappling success, you can't like really say that Batchery's going to have a ton of cardio going in the second round. I think Kang can pace this fight well. I think he's live to win a decision or a submission. I'm taking Kang at +1. I got him at +125. He's +115 now. And I like the sub at +500. I think that if he does get the grappling going very early, that neck's out there. And that's what Kang wants to do.
And you're right, Dana's going to gas. Dana's going to gas if he has to grapple at all. And you're absolutely right. He's not going to, didn't want to grapple, Yaya did not want to grapple with him. So he never got a chance to get anything going. But in his last 4 fights, he's landed, I mean, countless takedowns. I think it was 10, something like that. So that's what he'll be looking for.
Yeah, so this is an interesting fight too. Like, I want to give a shout out to our buddy Lucasol. I know Brady will never say his name on air, but Lucasol has something he's calling the Panda Express Parlay. I know he's on the Batchery side for this, but I appreciate the moxie.
And I don't mind that. I mean, that could easily happen. That first round KO. That's what we're all looking for as far as DraftKings are concerned as well. So
I do want to say it's really weird. I would say it's really weird. The Best Fight Odds never updated this because there are props out now, but also Best Fight Odds is the same company that calls just Durko to Dirt
and Dianer and a Berberter.
How is Kang's IQ? Well, I don't know him personally, but I know that every fight other than a Yaya fight, he's gone to his bread and butter as a takedown fight. McKendra, if you have a bet on Batchery already, which I kind of, the way I'm seeing this in chat, you probably do. Like, good luck. I don't hate Batchery getting a knockout, like, but I'm on the Kang side here, so I don't know what to tell you. My bet's already in. I'm sure yours is too. Like, that's the side I like. Anyway, moving on. Next up is not Vittori Whitaker. That is what?
Yeah.
Apparently, Best Fight Odds just took a crap. I love this show, dude.
Oh, it's great.
That's weird. We literally lost all our fights. That's all right. I have a good memory. And I'll just do this. And we'll go here. Next fight up.
Bang, bang. Professional. No one can accuse us otherwise.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I have the internet. I can use the web pages.
Oh, this is the one right here.
So I'm leading. I believe I'm leading off. I just can't wait to close. I'm surprised I'm not seeing Batman ads like every 5 seconds on this side anymore.
I only see one, so for now it's good. I'm waiting for the other two to pop up on this thing.
Monk, have you seen the Batman?
I have seen the Batman.
Did you like it?
I thought it was good. I like that noir shit, man. I'm kind of a film weirdo these past few years, so a film nerd.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Robert Pattinson's like fucking excellent.
Dude, that's what I mean. I'm a big Robert Pattinson fan. I've never seen the Twilight movie, just going to put that out there, but I've literally seen probably everything else he's done since. Love it. Lighthouse, if you haven't seen that movie, go watch Lighthouse.
I mean, I haven't seen the movies, but I do have a lot of Twilight posters on my ceiling.
There you go. See, so we cover all the bases.
For reasons that I can't. I mean, they're cool to look at, and for no other reason. Anyway, moving on. Brandon Allen against Jacob Malcoon. I will start this one off. Yeah, so look, Sunday I looked at these odds and I'm like, without even doing tape, I'm like, man, Malcoon just like, really? He's getting disrespected. And then Allen got like tons of steam. So here's the problem. I have a hard time giving you like a real pick here. I'm on Malcoon decision. The odds justify it. I got it at plus 800. And I can tell you why I like it so much, because literally the only way Malcoon wins is by decision. But I'm going to give you the Allen side here because like I feel the need to break this down right. My biggest problem with Brendan Allen is you could talk about a dude that has like the worst fight IQ. Brendan Allen has the worst fight IQ. His fight IQ is awful. I have no idea why he stood up with Punahele Soriano in 15 minutes. He just could have tried to take him down. But he decided to stand up with a guy who like literally his path to victory is like power punching. He did it. Sam Alvey, I have nothing to say about that. Like he did what he had to do to Sam Alvey. But like he fights Sean Strickland, like he just, what are you doing, dude? Like he always gets into like he always like tries to fight these fights and get in the worst possible scenario. The problem I have with this is if it's stand up, clear advantage. He's like Malcoon allegedly has boxing. I have seen Malcoon's tape. I'm waiting to see this boxing. I just have never seen the boxing. Allen should have a clear advantage. On the
never.
ground. If it does go to the ground, we know what Malcoon's going to do. He's going to be tireless. His cardio is great, but he's going to be tireless. He's going to take Allen down, but Allen off his back is fine, and Allen can get reverses, he can get sweeps, he can get submissions from that spot. We've never seen Malcoon submitted. We have seen him get knocked the F out in like 9 seconds by somebody who Allen trains with, which is crazy. So I think Allen has the advantage everywhere. That being said, do you trust Brandon Allen at this ticket, at this price? And more importantly, this is not like a huge knock on Allen's cardio, but if this fight gets in the second round, how good do you feel with that minus 300 ticket with Allen? That he hasn't gotten him out of there.
Good.
That he hasn't gotten him out of there. Seven's fair. 7 is way fair. I mean, she's, Mahler, thanks for joining the chat. In all fairness, I think a lot of the pictures of Pasqual, it's like she doesn't photograph well, but like I look at her and I'm like, yeah, like absolutely, like, and think of this. And like you gotta understand,
I'm not going to throw him out of the chat for that. I'm not going to do it.
Like, and you guys gotta understand. Like, let's say I go to the bar with Ramona Pasqual and we're like talking about feelings, or I don't know. I'm in my 40s. I don't know how you talk to women anymore. I have a girlfriend. She's staring at me right now. Also, she just told me. Also, if Wheezy's still here, she says, "Oi." Yeah, Pasqual could just beat the hell out of anybody that like scares you at the bar. I mean, like, what's not to like? Anyway, I'm on the Malcoon side because of value. If you're gonna play Allen, honestly, play him round 1. Like, Muy Bueno is saying it. I know. I going against Wheezy's ass shaving is it's a dangerous business. Babe, Wheezy also says, "Boy, back to you." So Dan Goldstein coming in hot. My guy.
Holy.
So I'm on the Malcoon side because of the value, and also because I'm honestly being stubborn and telling you that I found this prop Sunday and was like if it hits, then I'm like the guy that said it first. So I have to stick with it. But if you're gonna play Allen, play him round 1. Because I think that if Allen doesn't get him out of there round 1 and this gets grindy, Malcoon's cardio is legit. This guy's like, we're in that era, like him, Ronnie Lawrence. Like, there's guys that can just do this for 15 minutes, like take down, rinse, and repeat. And Malcoon has shown he can do that. Like, yeah, he hasn't faced wrestlers. He's faced, Al Hassan, our favorite fighter on the MMA engine, like Al Hassan. And Dobson, who like is a power puncher, and I get it, but like his cardio is legit. So I kind of think I know what you're gonna say for DFS here.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I can't just play one side of this fight, but I will have a ton of exposure to the Malcoon side. Like you said, that's his decision path to victory, or decision is his path to victory. Guys, he's been putting up crazy numbers, 6.07 points a minute, 121 over his 2 wins. Like Lou said, if this gets grindy, this has Malcoon cardio written all over it. Takedown, rinse and repeat, wrap those legs up of Brendan Allen. Again, another point that Lou said, very low, seemingly low fight IQ.
I had great points.
You do. Fantastic points. And if you watch the replay, you're going to see me shaking my head like a bobblehead over here. I totally agree with them. Brendan Allen, though, do not discount him at $9,000. He's going to be simple to get to. One of my favorite $9,000 fighters since Kopp fell off the card, unfortunately. But I do like Brendan Allen at that salary. The salary is fantastic to play as well. He scores almost 3.5 points a minute. Doesn't average those triple digits, but 96.52 points per win. Shout out to Digital Monster in the chat. Absolutely. That's my guy back in the 402. And in fact, I'm going to try to. Lou doesn't know it yet. Lou doesn't know yet, but we're gonna have theme music soon. We're gonna have theme music.
That's fucking.
And I'm gonna have Digital Monster throw it together for us. You don't know that. You just found out. So
he's the guy that got me that. He showed me this thing with a Booger Beard, committing you to like a porn society or whatever.
That's right. Yeah. Well, hey. Now we don't talk about that on this show. The sun is still out where I'm at. So long story short, guys, I'm gonna have to play Brendan Allen and I'm gonna have to play Jacob Malcoon. I agree with Lou everywhere. Decision for Malcoon. That's the exact way I would play it. Brendan Allen by round 1 KO. I don't know if I'm going to have the balls to do that one. I'm kind of leaning the Malcoon side. I don't like the fight IQ from Brendan Allen, but these two salaries are fantastic to play for DraftKings. These guys have made the optimal lineup in 3 of their last 6 combined fights. You got to play both sides. This will be my highest exposed one, and that's what I got for this one, Lou.
Well, you're about to lead off
the Jacob Malcoon.
The people's main event. I can't say it like Bert did because we'll get thrown off the air, but Mahashate against Steve Garcia. I'm seeing takes all over the board on this one, Monk. What do you got for this DFS wise?
I'm seeing this. I keep going back and forth, honestly. Like one day I think I'm going to be high on Steve Garcia because I'm fading the DWCS and the 1.48 raw DraftKings points a minute Mahashate would have scored in that last fight that he had in the Contender Series. Other than that, but then, I should say, then the next day I'm on the Mahashate side saying Steve Garcia sucks. This is Steve Garcia. He's only had 2 fights in the UFC. Nothing really impressive whatsoever. He did win against Charlie Ontiveros, but like I said, nothing really impressive whatsoever. So I'm kind of going back and forth on this one as well. But at 8,400, 7,800, I don't mind the salaries. I'll probably be right around the field on this one. I'm going to have to take a stand before Saturday or before tomorrow, before I do my lineups. I'm going to have to take a stand. And honestly, this very second, if I'm being honest, it's going to be Mahashate and the variance on that side. So I don't know. I'll have a bit of Steve Garcia as well, and maybe that'll change within the hour. But as of now, I kind of like the newcomer to show me what he's got in this one.
So here's what I don't understand. Okay. We have no tape on Mahashate, right? None. It was like 2 fights.
0.
This guy was plus 500 against Achilles Esmeralda or whatever the hell his goddamn name was. He gets killed in the first round, and then this guy gasses it, and Mahashate hits him a couple of times. Now he's plus 150 against a guy who's fought in the UFC. Doesn't make any sense.
No, it really doesn't.
Now, you want to talk about the Ontiveros fight? All right, Garcia didn't look great, but Ontiveros was coming down in weight. It's way bigger. And Garcia is not a guy with tremendous fight IQ, but he's a guy that has he has a never say die attitude. He's kind of that kind of guy. He also can take people down, and from what we've seen, in the very limited tape of Mahashate, he doesn't really know how to stop a takedown.
That's true.
Now, the one thing I will say is I didn't love Garcia's body language at the weigh-ins today. He didn't look great. And he was the smaller guy. Like, he looked like the smaller guy. But, I mean, I gotta take the guy who has experience here and at least can get a takedown against a guy who hasn't shown he can stop it. And Garcia could just bonk him on the ground. Like, repeatedly.
Exactly. That's exactly what this could look like.
So I played Garcia minus 165. I don't think the price is like, it didn't get out of hand yet. But I played Garcia knockout round 2. He has a couple of round 2s in his arsenal. And if I'm looking at props, I do like to look at that. Like, I realize that every fight's a little different, but sometimes guys take a round to get fired up. Sometimes, like, it's like, when I like the round 3 props, like some dudes, you'll fade people when I do round 3 props. I like Garcia here, round 2. It's plus 550. Just the round 2, not the knockout, not the sub. I do think he's live for a sub. I wouldn't play it. It's not like he has them in his history, but if this fight does hit the ground like for a long sustained period of time, I gotta think the sub is live. But I think honestly, and if you want to play round 1 here, that's cool too. I think I think if Garcia gets him down, that's the end of it. And yeah, I mean, if you don't want to play this, and like everybody talks about like Mahashate's got some power. I haven't seen it. I mean, he couldn't knock out a guy who his tongue was hanging out in the 3rd round of the Contender Series. So I can't have any faith in Mahashate here. If you want to pass in this fight completely, like, I get it. Like, this is right in the middle of the card. This is a good, like, drink 9 beers and 7 shots fight as long as it lasts. But I'm on the Garcia side. I don't love it. I clearly know, like, huge confidence here. But this is a great fight coming up. Sungwoo Choi against Josh Coulibaly. Is this my turn or yours?
I believe it is yours, sir.
All right. So one of the prevailing thoughts I've seen all year, and I won't do a lot of analysis on this, is that Choi by decision seems to be like a really popular bet this week. And I don't see it because I think Coulibaly has a lot of skill here. A lot of skill. His leg kicks are ridiculous. By the way, this fight is not hitting the ground. So I imagine that you're not going to love this fight for DFS.
The prices are crazy here.
I think this fight's going to be a banger, and I think the line is wide. Like, I wonder if American fans or like the line makers, all they think of with Choi is him knocking out Arosa, where like Arosa's just chinny. Like,
it has to be.
Like
that's
Choi
the only explanation.
Like, Choi can crack, and honestly, the problem that Choi's had, if you look at all the losses Choi has, like, I think he's better than his record. Choi's biggest problem is that wrestlers just outclass him. That's not a problem here. But at the same time, like, I really do like Coulibaly a lot. Like, I like his skills, especially I love those leg kicks. So I'm playing this fight one way and one way only. Fight to end in knockout is plus 180. And I mean, then you get both sides. You get to root for violence. Look, you're not getting a submission here. Like, you're not. So fight to end in knockouts plus 180. I love it. Just root for somebody to beat the fucking shit out of somebody else. Like, and I honestly, like, if you're on the Coulibaly side, Coulibaly knockouts, like, well, I can't tell because Best Fight Odds took a dump. So I can't, like, tell you right this second unless I log into, like, one of my books. What's up, Chronic? Thanks for joining, man. But fight to end in knockout, look, whether the bet wins or loses, like, I want to give you guys winning bets, but whether it wins or loses, that is a bet you can set your watch to. You're like, cool, I'm rooting for somebody to die. That's awesome. and I'm getting 2-1 odds on it. And I'm getting 2-1 odds on it. What's not to like? I don't even lean Choi here. They're sleeping on Coulibaly. This line is too wide for me. Those leg kicks are vicious, man. Vicious. Leg kicks are great. Monk,
agreed.
What do you got for DFS? Are you on any side of this?
If I am, I'm definitely on your side, the Coulibaly side, at 9,100 for Sungwoo Choi, who's going to score less than 3 points a minute in a 3-round decision, is not really something that I'm interested in whatsoever. But when he does lose, he gives up 3.31 points a minute and 101.6 on average in those losses. That's what I'm looking for. I like what you said about Coulibaly, but he definitely does need to improve his DraftKings numbers. 1.76 a minute and only 58 in his one win. Both of these guys giving up well over 100 when they lose. I think the winner here, the winner, if they finish, could score very well. And I think the finish is going to have to come from the Coulibaly side. I just don't see how Seungwoo Choi is going to finish what I think is a decently tough guy in formerly Josh Coulibaly, but now Joshua, excuse me. Name change everywhere. Had to do that this week in my spreadsheet. So I think he's pretty tough. And I think if Choi wins, it's going to be by decision. And he's going to score. Let's see. He scores on average 86 when he wins by decision. That's not even 10x. It's barely 9.5x. In fact, right around there. So that is not something I'm interested in at all if I'm rostering this fight, which I expect to be under at least on the Choi side and possibly on the Coulibaly side. But I'll definitely have more of the Coulibaly side at 7,100. It'll be a bit of salary relief. I can definitely get to Brendan Allen if I feel like it, in those lineups that I'm not playing Malcoon, which will be many more as we already discussed. But you could also get to, Shevchenko's in cash, stuff like that. So this one's not really a big one as far as DraftKings looking at it pre-fight as far as I'm concerned.
Right. And just to address the chat, McKendra, who seems to just, disagree with everything that I'm saying today for the sake of disagreeing. And Glenn, again, this is like an odds benefits to play. Like, plus you're giving me almost 2-1 for both guys that are going to stand and bang 15 minutes.
Hey, CM Monk thinks this one's going to finish as well. So, that's based on histories and all kinds of shit.
I mean, it's about the way these guys have fought, and it's about how the fight's going to play out. Like, this isn't going to be 10 minutes against the cage of just control time. This is going to be 15 minutes of violence. And you're giving me almost 2-1 odds that one of them's going to get dropped from what they've thrown.
Exactly.
I'm going to take it. Like, you guys can look at this. You guys can look at the stats. I mean, Dan, I appreciate that. I'm not going to put that on the screen. I appreciate the comment. 11
knockouts between them.
We have brilliant statisticians on the MMA engine. Like, literally, like Brady, Weezy, and Monk are all like these brilliant statisticians. I'm just the guy with the 20 years of gambling experience. That's my numerical advantage, I guess. Like, I see a fight that's going to be 15 minutes.
Resume too, so it's true.
Also, I'm a computer programmer, so maybe I know numbers a little bit. But I look at 15 minutes of stand up. You give me 2-1 odds, with guys that have a lot of knockouts in their history. That's kind of what I look for.
100%.
In fact, round 3 knockout might be kind of fun here if you want to take a look at it. Might be interesting, especially if this fight gets it. So let's talk about a fight that may involve knockouts. Jack Della Maddalena against Ramzan Emeev. I'm up first on this one. This is a terrible fight, man. It's terrible because it's terrible because here's why it's terrible. Jack Della is so exciting. Why was this the matchup? Why'd they give him Emeev? This is just because this is your classic striker against wrestler, and
Yep.
So before I even give you the pick, I'm gonna tell you right now, you guys have seen the last couple of weeks when you get grappler against striker, and you get 3.5 minutes of control time against 1.5 minutes of affecting striking. What are we looking at judging wise? What are they judging? How are they judging it? Everybody that thought
it's certainly not gone towards the way of the control time person. That's for sure.
Well, we just saw it with Zumagulov and Maddalena, and look, I was on the Zumagulov side for that bet, but and I didn't think was it a robbery? Look, man, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe, but Zumagulov didn't do enough. The fact of the matter is, I took a bet on a guy that didn't do enough, and that a fight that's going to go to decision.
Exactly.
So, but I took the underdog, and you always want to be on the dog for that. So for this fight, I have 2 bets. I have Emeev by decision, and I hope I lose it. I hope Maddalena knocks him out, and I hope I lose this bet. But you're giving me Emeev, and the only way Emeev's going to win is by decision, and you're giving me plus 220 for it. There you go, Zero Bob. I mean, is Emeev getting a finish? I doubt it. So like plus 220 for his decision prop. And yeah, Glenn, I get it, but like just because it is doesn't mean it's going to happen. Like
he's finished 10 out of 20 wins and none in the UFC.
And let's be honest, this like from Pete Rodriguez to Emeev is a big step up. It's a big step up in competition, in experience, everything. So I have Emeev plus 220, but I've backed it up with I am taking this fight to end in a split decision at plus 475. I think these odds are crazy for a split decision. I have another split decision I'll get to later in the card, but you give me almost 5-1 for this fight to end in a split decision. Like, again, I'm talking about like what the judging is and like, will you marry me? Which is another great screen name. I mean, you may think he's a fake wrestler. Great. Is he going to have a wrestling advantage here? Yes. Like completely. Like really? Because I've seen zero of Jack Della's wrestling. So
no, I agree 100%.
Like, but then again, how do they judge it? If Emeev controls for 4 minutes, but Della lands like 30 shots in 1 minute, which by the way, he can.
Yep.
So to me, the best bet of the fight is the fight to end in split decision at plus 475. I don't
really like that.
I mean, like, and Emeev's never been knocked out. Like, so like Della's got a lot of promise. Is he awesome? Like, have been taken. Okay. They have. Here's the question.
Agreed.
So here's the question. Does that mean it's going to happen every single time? No. So when you make bets, you have to look at what the equity is. Do I think this is going to decision? Yes. Like 9 times out of 10. The only time it doesn't is if Della knocks him out.
Right.
So if it goes to decision and it's a wrestler versus a striker, and you're giving me 5-1 for the split decision, does this end in a split decision like 1 out of 5 times? Million percent. So I'm co-opting the judges. I'm co-opting what we've seen, this wrestler versus striker. You're saying judges have been taking damage more under control? Maddalena won a split decision. He didn't win a unanimous decision.
Nope.
I don't know how he got a 30-27.
Yeah, that was a crazy score.
But if we're getting fights where all 3 judges are going to look at it like from weird angles, why not take the split? And then I don't care who wins. All you want to see is that split screen and Judge Sal D'Amato. As soon as you hear his name for the first time in your life, you won. It's over. You won the bet. You don't care who wins. Do I side with Della here? Yes, by heart. Because I want him to win. I think he's exciting, and I think he's got like a lot of future in the UFC. But this is a weird. Like, I don't know why they gave him Emeev. This is a horrible. Why didn't they give him like hot chocolate? I know I just fought against like Trinaldo, but like give him the guy that Emeev just lost to. Give him sort of, but give him hot chocolate. Give him a guy who at least is willing to stand and bang with him. This is a weird.
This is a weird matchup.
So what do you got for? I'm pretty sure I know where you are on the DFS angle here.
Yeah, this is a weird matchup. I can't really play Emeev unless I think he's gonna. You have to play Emeev in cash rather. That's the play. You play Emeev in cash. You play Jack Della Maddalena in GPP tournaments. Emeev scores very lacklusterly, if that's a word. 2.72 a minute, 75 when he wins. He only allows 1.44 and 51 over 2 UFC losses. So I mean, he's not giving up any points. So like Lou said, if Jack Della Maddalena is going to win, it's probably going to be. Like he said, either split decision or for early knockout. He's just going to catch Emeev, which has not happened in the UFC. He's only been TKO'd once professionally. But Maddalena looked great against, a guy, Pete Rodriguez. I think he had like 4 professional fights, something like that. It was just a welcome to the UFC. Here's a present for you. Maybe his opponent dropped out. I don't remember who it was supposed to be. I'm not even really sure. But as far as DraftKings, I mean, you got to love Maddalena better for GPPs, and at 8,200, it's not a terrible price to be at. He is $1,000 under his average salary, or rather his salary he came in last time. So you're getting a huge savings there. He is fighting a guy that just turns every fight into boring fights in Emeev. So unless he gets that first round knockout, I'm not going to be high on really either side for DraftKings. I'll probably be under the field on both sides. And then, of course, that's the 1 out of 10 scenario that Lou was talking about when Maddalena will get an early knockout. But yeah, I'm just going to be leaning fade for this one generally, I think, as far as DraftKings go, and we can move on.
Yeah, and guys, like, I like that people disagree in chat. Like, that's what we're here for, man. Like,
Oh, yeah.
this is an open conversation about it, and I love it. And, like, you know, Torque's on the Maddalena KO. Honestly, that's probably his path.
100%. I agree. If this goes to decision, I'd be hard pressed to see Maddalena winning it. You know what I mean? Like I just think I'll just think it's Emeev right away.
Like, if you guys have never seen this show, know that for me to give out a bet that starts with a minus number is a horrible, like, it hurts my soul. Like, like, you guys hear picks all week. You listen to 30, like, a lot of you guys in chat, you've listened to like 10, 15 shows all week. You already think you know who's going to win, or like you've settled on a winner. I'm not here for just who the winner is. I'm here for like the way to make a little bit of money on a plus odds bet, and then the crazy prop. Like, that's what that's my betting style. Like, that's what I do. Like, so,
and we love it.
And we love, and dude, like, we love the back and forth with chat. So, like, we're really glad that we have all you guys here. Like, we do appreciate it. And, you know, Dan's talking about the draw here. Yeah, I mean, actually, it's funny. We were just talking about this the other day. Like, I can see Jack getting a 10-8 in the third. Like, his corner being like, dude, you've been ragdolled for 10 minutes. Like, you have to go out there and just annihilate him. And that draws.
Do that. Yeah.
Like, if I lost my split decision to a draw, I'm good with that. Like,
you'd almost have to respect it. You'd
almost a million percent. So, all right, here we go. Jake Matthews against Fialho. This has been moved up to the main card. A lot of people on Matthews this week on Twitter. And then people like the Fialho KO recency, you know, him being more active. Monk, what do you got for this one?
Honestly, the big question is this the time to fade Fialho? And I'm sure you'll get into that a bit more. As far as DraftKings goes, though, 7,700, 8,500, fantastic fight to play. This salary pair is, I think, the best salary pair that you play, meaning whichever, you know, when they fight each other, 77 and 85, the winner makes the optimal lineup close to 60% of the time, if not more. So this is a great fight to play. Matthews, 15 fight UFC vet, 3 points a minute, 91 in his wins. Fialho on the other side, 3 UFC fight vet, 2.69 per minute, but it relies on those early finish wins to get those big scores to pay off those generally. You know, actually, it's not actually a small salary, $8,000 salary on average. So he is a bit more expensive, but not too bad. But he does need those early finishes. He has a 109 average when he wins there. This is another one I've been going back and forth on. I tend to think that this probably goes to decision. So I know I'm getting excited for 77 and 8,500. This is probably going to go to decision. When Jake Matthews goes to decision, he averages 83.71. Split decisions, 81. So right around 82 points. Fialho has yet to go to decision in the UFC. Actually, no, he did lose that decision to Michel Pajeda, if I could learn how to speak, has made the optimal in his other 2 fights. So for GPPs, I'm going Fialho for the big KO upside, big finish upside. You're going to have some of them in your lineups. But for cash and whatnot, I'm going Matthews, and maybe a little bit for GPPs as well. You could get an easy 80 points in a win here. He tends, you know, the tape on this guy is pretty much the same throughout. There's a ton of it in the UFC just alone, and the tape is pretty much consistent. So you know what you're going to get from Jake Matthews. I mean, he's putting up just over 1.2 points per minute in takedowns and control time, which I really like. If he can get Fialho down, get him off his feet, I mean, this has Matthews written all over it, but it also has low scoring written all over it. So Fialho GPPs, Matthews cash. What do you got for this one as far as an angle to get some value here?
So I think he has the most generic Tapology picture I've ever seen. Like,
he's a pretty 100%.
Like if you were playing a video game and the guy's name was Player One, like, this is Player One. Like, it's like, look, I have gloves and hair, like, but not too much hair. Like, that's what he looks like.
Yeah. Yep.
So I know everybody like everybody hammered the Matthews line early in the week. So here's what I'm going to tell you about the way I'm playing this. I will have no bet pre-fight. I will look to, and I think this is the way to play this, in my opinion. If Matthews is going to lose, it's in round 1. He's never been knocked out, but he hasn't fought in a while either. Like, he lost to, like, Sean Brady by submission. Sean Brady's legit, man. And Sean Brady made him look like a fool.
15-0, yeah.
But that's a whole different kind of stylistic fight than this. So here's what I'm going to tell you right now. If you're on the Matthews side, and I do lean Matthews. If you're on the Matthews side, wait until after round 1. Like, just wait
That's
until
a
after
great
round 1.
call. Great call.
Because Matthews after round 1 is going to be plus 300 easy. And then Matthews can grind him out.
Fialho is going to have his mouth wide open after round 1.
I don't trust his cardio, and I think you get Matthews at plus 300 for a fight that not only do I think he just win the second and third rounds, I think he's live for a late finish. Like, he's got a lot of subs on his record.
Dan says Maddie round 3 sub plus 6,700.
Well, you know, if you got that line, that's pretty amazing. Like, I have not seen round 3 plus, like, I've not seen his knockout is plus 4,500 and his sub prop is left. So if you got that line, like, good on you, bro. But like, I'm telling you right now, like, there's no reason to bet him before the fight starts, because if he gets bonked, if he gets bonked in the first round, you don't lose a thing. If that thing gets out of the first round and you're holding the Fialho ticket, like, you're not happy. So
you're gonna be sweating.
To me, Matthews after round 1 is the way to play this, and you're gonna get crazy good odds and you'll know how Fialho looks. Like, I know the bookies have caught up, like, to a lot of these live betting situations, but there's a lot of recency bias with Fialho knocking out Cameron Van Camp, who stinks and who should have grappled him. I don't know why he didn't. And Baeza, who that you know, all of a sudden that Baeza wins. I mean, I don't know how well that's going to age, but
fell off a cliff.
But if Matthews hangs in there for 5 minutes and hasn't taken a lot of damage, even if he has taken some damage, 5 minutes, you're going to get I mean, you almost want him to take some damage. You might get plus 400 on him. But that's the way I'm going to be playing. But that's the way I'm going to be playing this fight. I'm going to wait till after the first round and take a shot on that Matthews live bet. I really do think he's live for a finish. I saw Clint has round 2, and, you know, I gave him the classic argument, why not round 3? And he goes, I like round 2. Why do you like round 3? I'm like, well, round 3 pays more.
Oh, I mean, of course.
but I like these round 2, round 3 props for Matthews too. I think Matthews has a shot to get him out of there. Like, don't go crazy with the round 3 and round 2 props. But that live bet on him is the best way to play this fight, because he will literally he may go to a 4-1 underdog after round 1.
Oh, could you imagine, man?
So, I'm not drunk saying that's smart, and okay, I appreciate.
There you go. Take that for what it is.
I get a rare compliment. Who is the bigger dog on a Matthews or Fialho? I've watched a lot of Fialho tape outside of the UFC. I would say Matthews by like a large margin here.
Agreed.
Fialho didn't look horrible against Teixeira in the third round. Like, he looked okay, but also Teixeira was so gassed that, like, it became like a kind of a battle of attrition. Matty sub late live. I do think that sub is live if this plays out. If he fights smart and he gets him on the ground, I do think it's live. So live bet. Fialho gasses. Is anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Dan always brings like amazing. Dan is like Aussie Lou.
That's high praise, Dan.
Dan, I have to get you on the channel one day. I'm just worried that, like, you and I it's like, it'd be too much. Like, YouTube just kick us off the air, man. Be funny though. Well, we have hit the co main event. We'll call it. Weili Zhang, Juarez, Jędrzejczyk. Monk, start us off, man. What's your lean here? Do you have a lean? Do you care? I
do. I do care. I do kind of care. I care that we're going to see a very good fight. I'm hoping it goes to decision so we get all 15 minutes. And I think the winner, no matter who it is going to score well. So either one of these, I'm totally fine with in cash. Joanna, obviously, for the cheaper price, you got to go with her for GPPs. I think the line is far too wide in this one, which means the salaries are far too wide. You're paying $8,800 for Weili Zhang and just $7,400 for Joanna. She is $1,100 under her average salary, scores just under 3 a minute, almost 98 when she wins. Weili Zhang's numbers are a bit higher, 3.6 a minute and 104 when she wins. I don't know. I know Joanna's had a ton of time off, almost 2.5 years at this point, but I just have a feeling in this one. I think both are going to score very well in a win, so I don't really care who you play, but the salary differential is what's going to take over for me. As far as GPPs and maybe even a little bit in cash, I'll probably be higher on Joanna Jędrzejczyk over anybody else this week, over her opponent, Weili in this one. I mean, it's just far too wide. There's no reason, Wiley, and you're going to read off the odds here. My screen is too small to see what those numbers say, but I'm sure that it's going to.
How about now? How about now?
Far too wide. So yeah, I mean, Habana. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm kind of leaning Joanna in DFS. As far as betting, I'm very interested to see how you play. Because man, this one could really go either way. I might just avoid it or play the goes to decision or play some overs. But yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy this one. What do you got?
The Kendra, this is a very interesting point you're bringing up. We see this a lot where you see it seems like all the action's going one way, but that line doesn't move, and that's where you get very curious and you go the other way. So I love Joanna Champion, like my heart, like I love her, but I gotta question if she cares as much as she used to with the time off. She's been cherry picking a spot to just
because you know why Lee cares. You know she cares.
I do, and everybody's she's coming off 2 losses. Well, I mean, you can make an argument she won that second Rose fight. I think Zhang is solid. I know she's starting to incorporate a wrestling game in her background. Which, look, if we're talking about a fight that's going to be tight, and she's got takedown upside,
yep,
that could win some rounds. But
well, remember, it's only 15 minutes this time. A lot of these women's fights have been 25 minutes, so some of these scores that I'm giving you might be a little inflated with those extra 10 minutes of time.
So this is my other fight to end in split decision. It's plus 400. It's not as much as the Emeev one, but
still, I like that. I like that a lot.
It's another fight that should, for the most part, play standing on the feet, unless Zhang decides she wants to take it to the ground. And I don't see anybody. Yeah, Glenn's bringing up something else. Joanna's got some cosmetic enhancements now as well.
That's true.
I do not have a stat.
It's never messed with her weight cut as of yet, so I don't see that being a problem if we're talking about realistic things. But
I don't have a stat on implants versus record. I feel like at the MMA Engine we should probably have that stat. I will tell you. I
always just go back to think. Yeah, that's true. We should. I just always go back to thinking, why would you add weight to yourself when you're cutting weight? But that's not me.
I like the idea of the split decision here. McKendra, I'm now realizing, is just a construct that YouTube made to argue with me on every single pick.
I love it. I love it.
We're like 9 of 9. We're like McKendra just waits for me to talk and then just says the exact opposite. So I'm pretty sure this is like a Google construct now. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's literally like just wait for my opinion and then here we go. So I lean split decision. I think it will be close. And I think Zhang does have taken upside. I'm on the Zhang decision prop as well, plus 175. I don't see it finished here. Last fight, nobody was really in trouble. And I know last fight's not this fight. I get that. And there's a reason for that. Every fight's different. But I do see a feeling out process here because they know what each other's game is. They respect each other's power. They respect the strikes. And I do see a feeling out process. I actually think the first round's probably going to be really boring. And that's why I like the split decision even more. First round might be super low volume. So I do think Zhang has to take that upside. She might steal a round here and there. But if she's doing it at the end of the round, do you score it for her? Judges are getting a little smart of that. So I think Fight Goes is a great parlay piece at minus 210, minus 225, depending on your book. But I'm going to play Zhang decision at plus 175, and I'm going to play it to end in a split decision at plus 400. I will be playing Zhang split decision at, I believe it was plus 900 last I looked. I don't think it's a horrible look. But I mean, going the distance seems really safe here. I realize they've both been knocked out by head kicks, but come on, man. In general, they're both very defensive. They're both very defensively responsible. So I like that.
Yeah, I'll definitely be eyeing that and eyeing the over. Yeah, exactly. It's not you, it's me.
100% goes the distance. Yeah, I mean, outside of a flash knockout and McKendra, we're all ball busters soon, man. Welcome to the ball busting club.
Exactly. Plus, I just thought I muted and then coughed, so I'm glad you all got.
What do you have on this side on your end for which I imagine is closely lined? I mean, do you have to own both? Is this?
I like I guess. So.
Are you already?
I already did go, but yeah.
But do you have to? But do you feel like you have to have? It's not a 5-round fight, but is this? like must own in your book?
If it was a 5-round fight, I would be endorsing a stack for the first time ever on this show. If it was a 5-round fight, so I guess that means you have to play them both in cash and then a little bit in GPPs. But like I said, definitely got to have more of Joanna, I think, because just that's what the salary says. This is a crazy wide line.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would like to see Joanna win, but like, part of me kind of hates the fact that she just cherry picked for 2 years to wait for like,
True.
you know, where Willie Zhang's like, but like Willie Zhang's had fights turned down. She's like, I'm just trying to be active. So
That's true. But
you know,
it's going to be a good fight. I'm just hoping for a good fight in that one, really.
So, all right, we are up to the co-main. By the way, we have 34 live viewers, guys. Thank you so much, like, for tuning in, like and
Thank you,
subscribe.
guys.
Blah 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 blah. Like Ludi Pie says. Sorry, Liu Kang, Ludi Pie. All the names. All the names. Valentina Shevchenko against Talia Santos. You know the story here. Monk, start us off, man.
Yeah, man, this one's going to be super easy for me. If you watch the show, you know I'm not playing Shevchenko in hardly any GPP lineups.
And why is that? And why are you not playing her?
Oh, you know, she's just too expensive.
Do you have a show that talks about this? Do you have a show? Do you have a show about some kind of voodoo? About some kind of voodoo?
On some channel, I think maybe if some of you have heard it before, called the MMA Engine, which you should definitely subscribe to and like all their videos. It probably helps them out quite a bit. But yeah, that was a featured one. The third and final fight I talked about on Salary Voodoo. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, and it will go much more in depth on why this is a bad salary. But yeah, I'm not playing Shevchenko in GPP. She's far too expensive. Play her in cash, guys. Play her in every single cash lineup, probably. I'll be at 90% probably of my cash lineups. Maybe a little less. That might be a little bit of an exaggeration. But Taila Santos, I guess you can throw her in just in case the unthinkable happens, and this is Shevchenko's time to get beat. But I personally don't see that happening. But for 6,600, I mean, you can throw her in some lineups, GPPs. But like I said, Shevchenko is a great and probably the best cash play on the entire card. So you're definitely going to have to find some dogs this week to pair her with. What do you got? Is there any value whatsoever in any kind of over lines or maybe even a Santos side pick?
I just want you to see that, what I put on the screen right now, because I forgot both Yambag's plays that I had.
Oh, shit.
So I will give you guys the Yambag special coming up soon.
Perfect. Stay tuned for the Yambag special.
And by the way, if you guys are in the chat, you know what that is. Yambag special is my bets on point deductions, as in getting kicked in the Yambags, or if it's a female fight, the no bags to be yammed.
Yep.
In that case, the clam bag, if you will.
I will.
Can I say 100%. That? All right, good. So
every time
I do like to give a point deduction bet away every time. Yeah, Shevchenko in the distance. Like, give me a fucking break. Really? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, Santos is so, and I see people on the Santos side. So I just want to say this, because I don't think Santos is bad. And like, cool. She crushed Joanne Wood. Awesome. Like, cool. So did Grasso. Like, great. Like, Grasso's got a better chance here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
So why did Santos lose her debut? Like, do you know why? Like, do you know what she said? Do you know
I don't know what she said.
Do you know why she lost to Mara Barella?
Was it bad meat?
She said she was very nervous and couldn't deal with the spotlight. Okay, cool. Now you're fighting possibly like the greatest women's fighter of all time for the title.
She will literally dance over your body after she wins.
So Valentina in the distance, yeah, it's kind of a square play. It's plus 130. Also, this is one of my favorite plays. Is Valentina round 3, round 4, plus 700. Typically, whenever I see an over/under that's like right in the middle of that prop, like over 3.5, I do like to attack the round 3, round 4 prop. Plus 700. Valentina does like to play with her food. I don't see like a round 1 finish. I like the round 3, round 4 prop the most. If you want to do individual, like round 3, round 4, round 5, like go for it. I'm not playing KO or sub here. She's so dangerous, like everywhere. I mean, it like to me, it's Valentina wins how she wants when she wants. Yep. Could she win in the first? Absolutely. I like in the distance. I do like the round 3, round 4 prop. I really don't have anything else to add on this one. I mean, Shevchenko is like the GOAT. Like, I think she's the best female fighter I've ever seen in my life.
I agree.
So
I agree. I mean, until we're proved otherwise, like I'll watch her dancing all over these dead women in the octagon.
Again, the construct that you
I
two
was
made,
waiting.
just like literally here to argue with me. Like
I love it so much.
Grassa is like so much more well-rounded. Like, okay. Well, guess what? They'll probably be fighting soon.
I was gonna say we're probably gonna see that matchup sooner than later within the next 2 fights.
We may get to answer that.
If Santos loses, it'll probably be next.
All right, Monk. We've made it to the main event. We have,
yes, sir.
We've made it. So
love making it to the main event.
So Teixeira Prochazka. I guess I'll start this one off. Or do you want to start this?
No, I'll start. I love, like I said, I love you hearing you're finishing out with the main event betting props and whatnot. So yeah, Yuri Procházka, $8,900. I was wishing and hoping, praying he was a little bit cheaper than that, but he is not. $7,300 for his opponent, the light heavyweight champion Glover Teixeira. Surprisingly, 3.48 a minute for Teixeira. Very good. 107 when he wins. He gives up over 3 a minute and 115, almost 116 when he loses. So tons of points in Glover Teixeira fights, no matter what side you're on. Meanwhile, Yuri Procházka blows that pace number out of the water, 4.71 a minute, 106 when he wins. The difference is there's a very small sample size here, only 2 fights that we have to go on on the UFC level. That is for Yuri Procházka. I just don't know, man. 29 years old, going up against a guy that's closer to 43 than he is 42, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're the champion of the world, you're going to have a big target on your back. It gets tougher with every single day that passes. I want to see Glover win, but I just think, and nothing against Yuri. I like Yuri a lot. I want to see what this kid can do, but this might be his time. I mean, is he really going to claim the light heavyweight belt in his 3rd UFC fight? I mean, it's extremely possible. It's an ever more possible situation that we're looking at. So as far as DraftKings go, I'm going to probably be higher on Yuri just because I think he's going to win. I think he's going to get a first, second round finish, and I'm going to be sad if I don't have at least 30% of Yuri Procházka. But you're also going to have to play Glover for sure. And at 7,300, that's not going to be difficult. Throw him in a few lineups when you're not playing Yuri. I mean, look what he did last time. And I know Yuri is no Jan Blachowicz, but we're going to see at exactly what level Yuri is at. Because if he loses this fight, we're all going to look stupid, all of us on the Yuri side. It's going to be like, oh, of course, this guy only had 2 UFC fights. He was not ready for this. Glover is a professional and the champion whom we disrespected. So that's kind of how I see this one. Play a little bit of both. I'll personally be higher on the Yuri side just because that's how I think it's going to go. Do you agree with any of that, or do you think Glover is going to come out here and make me look stupid this weekend?
Well, I offered McKendra a chance to just beat me to the pick to see if they are in fact a construct of Google, but I ain't seeing any picks in chat, so I'll just say what I have to say, and then I can't wait to see the opposite in chat. I mean, Yuri's gonna Yuri's gonna fuck him up, that simple. Yeah. I've seen Yuri taken down. I there's so much I don't like about Yuri at all. I don't like his striking defense is terrible. His takedown defense isn't great. It's not.
True.
Does Glover have more ways to win? 1,000,000%. And if you're on the Glover side, I get it. I totally get it. Yuri's gonna fuck him up, badly.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be by if there was a bet on BetMGM, if there was a prop punch from the ground to knock him out, I would take it.
Kevin Holland style.
If he could win by some weird prop, like that, I would take it. I just and I get it. It's a guy who's a great submission grappler against a great striker. I get it, but have we not been if you've not been paying attention the last year and a half, they're just setting up Procházka.
Yes.
By the way, they're not setting up Procházka. They're setting up Jamal Hill. It's Procházka to win to set up the Jamal Hill fight in a year.
Oh man.
Here's what's going to happen. Procházka is going to win. He's going to beat Anthony Smith, and I'm going to be rooting for Anthony Smith. Just when we do that video, when we do that video in 6 months, they'd be like, I'm betting Anthony Smith. I can't, I'm going to lose, but I'm betting Anthony Smith because I love Anthony Smith. But are we not setting up Prochazka, Jamal Hill like a year from now? And look, here's another element of this fight. I'm using football as the example, but and I hate if you guys are soccer fans, I don't know how many of you guys are soccer fans. I think Dan Goldstein's a soccer fan. Ukraine lost to Wales last week. Do you know why Ukraine lost? Not only does Wales look pretty good, but Ukraine lost because they had just played their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Sorry, Prince. I have to be a narrative guy for this. If you're telling me Teixeira didn't win his so are you telling me Teixeira didn't win his Super Bowl by winning the title against Blachowicz?
Is that all he needed was to go out I just want to taste that glory just once and I'm good.
I feel like that might have been his Super Bowl. How do you
right.
Let me ask you this. How do you have the emotions coming into this fight as you did the emotions into oh my God, this is my last chance?
Impossible,
especially
against a guy that you thought you had a good game plan to beat.
Meanwhile, Prochazka's like the dude at the start of Kickboxer with Van Damme, where he's just kicking the post, in that basement. He's like, this means nothing to me. He's like the title. He's like literally the title means nothing to me. I'm here just to kick and punch and hurt. So,
well, you pissed off Dan. You better apologize, motherfucker. I
said maybe. Hey, come on, man. You act like the fucking dude on Burnley's
you
awesome.
Called him a soccer fan.
Dude, Chris Wood's an Australian. He's awesome. He plays for Burnley. He's Australian. He's great. Chris Wood's awesome. You have a good soccer player in your country. You can get behind. But I just think Prochazka, all right. Done. On air. Done.
We've got a live shoey proposition, folks.
You know what? I graciously accept. And I'm a lot of things. And I'm a lot of things. I am a lot of things. Monk, am I a man of my word or am I a man of my word?
Oh, 100%.
Prince of Mischief, I'm a man of my word. I'll do a shoey. I will start next week's show off. Oh, which we'll get to in a second. I will start next week's show off with a shoey.
That's huge.
Monk, what do you got for this one, my man? Or you already said it.
I already went. You were good.
I'm fired up. It's UFC weekend. Guys, just so you know, programming note for later and next week. Brady coming on in half an hour, doing his best bets. So it'll be, hold on. A used shoe, Prince of Mischief. I am a man of my word. I'm not buying the Tuivasa shoey. It'll be no joke. It'll be the grossest shoe I have. And I got some gross shoes. I'll own it. I will own it and do it live on air. Now, in terms of when I'm doing it live on air, that is a programming note for next week. So next week, my buddy's having a birthday party. I'm going to be in the Poconos all weekend. We are doing the show midnight Thursday. So it will be available to watch, but we will be going live at midnight next Thursday to do the show. So I will do that shoey at 12:01 on air. I'm in. So it'll be recorded, Prince of Mischief. I will be doing it. So 12:01. Guys, if you haven't smashed the like button, do it. But if not, I don't really just thank you guys so much for interacting with us, tuning in, starting up your weekend.
Love it.
Monk, tell the people where to find you.
Hold on, did we forget to bring something up? Did we promise something?
Oh, yam bags.
There we go.
God, I'm the worst.
Don't go anywhere yet, you guys, motherfucker. Don't you go anywhere.
Sorry. I got 2 yam bags bets, guys. One I love, one I don't, and they're both guest spots, kinda. So my buddy Greg, I asked him, who do you kind of like for the yam bags this week? I'm struggling. And he immediately was like Fialho Matthews. And I'm like, why? And he goes, look at those 2 assholes. They've been kicking the balls a lot. And I think Fialho kind of looks like Mr. Potato Head. So I'm in. And then my guy, Tim Troiano, who I don't know if you follow him, but Tim's like a crazy prop guy too. He likes the Batchery Kang fight because he thinks as Batchery gets tired, there's cage grabs involved.
Ooh.
And he switches stances. So you could get that southpaw kind of there's some options there. So I like that. I will notice that when I made the offer in chat for that person to give their pick first to prove that they weren't just countering me. They haven't said a word since. So good job, Google. You tried. You tried. And then Lou blew you up. So
Yeah.
like, hey, by the way, Google, you guys are like a really smart company and you have programmers there that are awesome. But I've been programming longer than you've been a company. You can't beat Lou that easily, man. You got to get up pretty early in the morning. Pretty early in the morning to outsmart Lou. Monk, tell the people where to find you.
Well, next week you can find. I'll be back home, regular content schedule, same shit, different week going on the next UFC card. But in the meantime, I'm hoping to rush home to catch these fights this weekend. But you can find me on YouTube at MonkMMATics, same as Twitter. Check out the MMA engine. You're here already. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button. And that's all I can ask from you guys. Enjoy the fights.
You can find me at Lou Betya on Twitter, not Liu Kang. This is the one
Not yet
thing. And I will, oh my God, Dan, that's like my favorite. Dan, I use that phrase all the time. I was born right. I was born right. One last night. One of my favorite phrases I use. Dan's a man.
Legend.
You find me at Lou Betya. I will be doing John Kelly's Best Bets panel tomorrow at noon. And I do the Bet Elevator on Thursdays. But like, just follow the MMA channel, guys. Like, I'd love to just get this thing done and launched. And like, maybe people will leave me alone next week so I can just build it. And guys, good luck this weekend on all your bets. Like, Brady coming up soon on the channel. And then the best bets on Brady's channel tomorrow, usually an hour before the fight. Nobody can out-drink me, Mushroom. I'm old. I'm weird. And I got this hat to prove that I'm like 5 years younger. Guys, have a wonderful night. Good luck this weekend. Be safe. Take care.